of months ago, Camp Point, Illinois native Elizabeth Stanley was performing 8 shows a week in the Broadway production of Jagged Little Pill. On March 12th, Broadway shows went dark due to the spread of COVID-19 in New York City. The world's recent events have allowed Stanley to reflect on the upbringing that made her dreams possible.
I'm very grateful for kind of growing up in the middle of nowhere, as some people might call it, because I learned, I guess, at an early age how to create things myself, or if I didn't have, the resources or the connections to people that I longed for, I figured out, I think that's why I learned to play the piano, because I was like, well, I have to play this for myself.
The cast of Jagged Little Pill and artists throughout the world have taken matters into their own hands by bringing arts entertainment to the internet. Audiences can continue to have access to Broadway quality content now by the touch of their fingertips. However, the uncertainty of exactly when performers can return to the stage continues to be on the minds of all those involved.
As actors, we're familiar with having spells of unemployment or being between gigs, but usually you can see those coming. So I think it definitely was shocking to feel like all of a sudden everything was stopping.
Quincy native Ryan Jude Tanner has produced some of Broadway's biggest hits. He says the amount of people who don't know when they can return to work is overwhelming.
All of the cast, the crew, the carpenters, the writers, the folks that are doing engineering and lighting and sound and dress and design. And I think sometimes people may forget that there's so many other people affected by the crisis.
As the world tries to prepare for a socially distant future, Tanner says financially this seems like a difficult feat for the theater industry.
We already know that if you don't have enough people in the seats, a show can't make it. And as a producer, we can't bring back all the cast, the carpenters, the prop masters, the ushers, because we want to try to accommodate 200 people in a theater that accommodates 1,000 people.
The question of how theaters will reopen if they can't fill the venues to capacity remains unanswered at this time. Tanner adds that funds now needed in order to get through the pandemic automatically places future arts funding at risk. Closer to home, the Quincy Community Theater is now turning to online playwriting classes to keep arts education alive during this trying time. Quincy Community Theater head of education and former playwright Brendan Shea says arts education remains incredibly crucial in a young person's life, whether or not they choose to pursue it professionally.
Just arts education has so many, remarkable impacts on young people's development, both in terms of socializing and about learning how to collaborate effectively.
Everyone can agree that continuous strength within any community can help keep creativity thriving.
We really, truly are all in this together. We will rise and we will fall together.